What's up, Kareem? JJ here. Today I want to address something that not a lot of people touch base on, and everybody has their opinion on it. This one is mine, and hopefully this will help you. It has helped me, basically to develop my palate, understand the cigar a little bit better as I smoke it, and get the most out of it, and the best enjoyment that I could possibly get from any cigar, especially one that has any type of slight complexity to it. So here we have our cigar. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line right through the middle of it. Okay? This line, this green line, represents the absolute perfect draw. Okay? The red line above represents hot. Okay? The blue line below, as I'm sure you can all guess, represents cold. So, why the lines? Why this demonstration? I'm hoping this will help shed some light on how to get the best out of your cigar as you smoke it. Okay? These are things that people don't quite touch base on, and I want to address them. So, your cigar is going to have various thicknesses of leaves. The leaves are going to come from various places around the world. It could be the most expensive cigar. It could be, the most inexpensive cigar, as long as it has some sort of complexity to it. Now, I understand attitude, atmosphere, the guy sitting next to you. These things all come into play. But if you can get rid of all that, ignore all that, focus solely on that cigar and what it's giving off and what it's telling you and what it's the notes that it's going to be presenting, this is a way that will help you be able to determine that. So as you smoke your cigar, you're going to be wanting to be right in here, that green area. As you smoke it, you're going to get all those flavor note qualities that you really want and expect. You're going to get a combination of bitter, salty, sweet and sour notes. Sweet and yet bitter, And that all comes with the complexity in how you smoke it, with perfect draw. Now, if you take that and you puff on it too much, too quick, big draws, lots of them, and you hover in and around this area, now you're into one type of profile, and that is nothing but bitter notes that come with the hotness of that cherry and that cigar that you're drawing like crazy on. I'm talking notes like wood, bitter hay notes, dry oat notes that are just bland, okay, that have absolutely no flavor to them whatsoever. So then from there, as you're puffing away and it's nice and hot, your cherry on the cigar starts to do something. And it starts to burn a little bit faster. So now, what happens is we end up with a bit of a roundness that occurs. Okay? And sometimes it even comes out a little bit more pointed. Okay? So now we have a real pointed cherry like this because we're drawing away, drawing away, drawing away. And that's what happens. Get that real burnt cherry that occurs. That's from going too hot, too quick, too fast, okay? That's not what we want. We want to maintain harmony, we want to maintain balance. And how we do that is by maintaining that green line, that harmony line that comes down and fluctuates right in here. The perfect point, perfect draws of that cigar. That's where we're going to get all those complex notes. You know, the honeys, the cocos, the coffees, bits of wood, you know. That's where we want to be. That's where we're going to get the best flavors from. Okay? Picture it like the plant, of the tobacco plant itself. That medium, middle area of that plant is where the best flavor profiles of the leaves are. That's what we're trying to achieve here when we draw on the cigar. Now, if we don't draw enough, and we start to fall, and we hover right here, that cold line there. Now, what occurs is we no longer have a nice straight burn. That doesn't curve out either. Now what happens is the burn tends to go a little sloppy. And it does this. Also known as tunneling. So we get this draw that's not enough. We're not pulling on it enough to maintain that perfect harmony area. So now this is where we get notes of earth. Again, more bitter notes, more sour. Okay? And we want to try and avoid that, obviously. Because with that occurs, or when that occurs, you're not burning all the leaves either 100%. You're only burning some of them, which is when the cigar tends to go out on you. And then when you relight it, you get that real nasty, tarry, bitter buildup because things are kind of burning and oils are happening, but yet they're not burning off to their full potential, so then they become bitter as opposed to flavorful. And then you end up with just this hard chunk of charcoal at the end, so to speak. This charred end that sits there and it does nothing and it tastes disgusting. So, what do we do about it? Well, we bring that back up to that perfect line. Okay? To maintain that absolutely harmony or harmonious draw. And each cigar is different because some cigars draw or have a looser draw than others. Depends on the cut. Depends on how tight the roll is. It depends on the leaves. It depends on a lot of things. But you keep this in mind as you have your cigar and you're puffing away on it. Maintain that perfect balance. Okay? So what you don't want is to be fluctuating high and low. You want to maintain that perfect balance. So what are you trying to achieve? Well, here's the thing. When you keep that perfect line, what happens is you have oils that occur. Okay? And those oils start to happen right along that draw, that burn line. And they start to come to the surface, they liquefy, and then they evaporate and burn off. And those hold all your flavor notes and your profiles of that cigar. I understand not everybody is going to have or find the same notes as everybody else. You're going to have various opinions. But everybody's palate's different, and this is the best way to figure out what those notes are for your palate. Now, when you maintain that perfect draw with those oils, everything is working in sync and it's in harmony, and you're getting a good balance of hot and cold. Okay? That is where you want to be. That is what you want to maintain. Okay? And keep that fluctuation happening right in here. Because you don't want those oils burning too quickly, because then they start to mash together. Okay, and you don't want them burning too cold, because then they're not heating enough to release their full flavor profiles. Everybody's palate's different, so they are going to get a little bit different notes, whether they're, you know, somebody may get a little bit more of a cocoa instead of more of a honey, or more of a floral note instead of a sour note. You know, so like I said, everybody's palate's different, and they're going to achieve a little bit different notes than somebody else. So this is a little trick that I want you to try if you can, you know, and this is something that I've done as well. So I've taken the same cigar, taken two of them, and I have smoked one, and I have practiced, you know, smoking it real fast at times, you know, getting those harsh, bitter notes because it's so hot, and then I've let it cool off, you know, took a little puff here and there, maintain a cool burn, and I've basically gotten those bitter, more salty, earthy notes. And then I've done that with that one cigar, and then the next day, I didn't do it that same day, because sometimes, depending on the finish, those notes can linger, and you know, you're doing things throughout the day, whatever. Anyway, so then the next day, with a clean palate, take that same cigar and smoke it as close to perfect as you can, as close to medium as you can. Get a nice ash, get those oils going, try not to get it too hot, try not to get it too cold. And that same cigar will give off so many different flavor profiles and notes to the palate, and you'll be so surprised. And that's what you want to try and achieve. Okay? You know, if you're a guy that likes to use a punch on a cigar, even still, try using an open, full open cut, straight cut. You will have more smoke intake, but yet you will learn your control as well at the same time. You know, every cigar is going to tell a different story by the way you smoke it and how you're smoking it. Okay? What type of cut you're using. Is it a V cut? Is it a punch cut? How many punches are you putting into it? Is it going to be a straight cut, full open? Does it have resistance? All these things, I understand, come into play. This is part of smoking the cigar and enjoying the cigar, is, you know, figuring things out. This is kind of like the science behind it. Okay? This is what the Creed tries to bring and tries to make known to everybody out there. It's a collective. It's something that we all can understand and spread the word to benefit somebody else. Okay? So these are things I want you to try and do, and let me know how it works out. You know, drop a comment down below, give me a thumbs up. You know, send me an email if you want, jjonthecc@gmail.com. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've tried them all. Okay? Maybe you revisit a cigar that you haven't had a great experience with, and because of this, it may heighten that experience a little bit more, and you tend to get a little bit more enjoyment out of it. So, anyway, let me know what you think. Thanks for tuning in. I'm JJ of Cigar Creed. Don't forget to click that like button, subscribe, join the Creed. More coming at you. Remember, life is good, but it's better with a cigar. Anyway, all the best. JJ out.